Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I want to take you guys through some of the best Steam PC game deals that are available right now under the price of $10. A lot of good stuff, as there always is. Of course, we are coming up on the autumn sale, I believe it's called. That'll be happening, I want to say like 2 weeks, around 2 weeks from today. So if you're looking forward to that, remember that there's going to be a lot more deals available, so don't fret too much. It actually might be a little bit earlier than that. I gotta look up the dates again, but nonetheless, there's a lot of good deals available right now, so let's get right into it. First of all, we have Mafia, the Definitive Edition, 75% off for $9.99. This is a full-on remake of Mafia 1. Well, the gameplay isn't revamped in any crazy sense, and it's still a pretty basic third-person title. Atmosphere-wise, narrative and setting, voice acting, those elements are done so well. And you know what? In an era of gaming where we're getting a lot of Starfields and games that are so bloated beyond belief and have so much content, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a shorter experience that you can complete over the course of a weekend or something like that. And that's what Mafia Definitive Edition offers. It's a game that I'll go back to and play through every now and again multiple times, just because, you know, it's a game I can get into and complete it relatively quickly. But game is really good. $9.99 I think is a great price for it. I could understand, you know, at 40 bucks or whatever, you being a little bit off-put by it just because of the length, but at $9.99 I think it's fine. There is a trilogy available if you want the other two games, but yeah, definitely check out Mafia 1 if nothing else. Next up, we have Mega Man X Legacy Collection, which is 60% off for $7.99. This gets you Mega Man X 1 through 4. Really, the games that I think most would consider to be the peak of Mega Man X. I wish that they had Mega Man Maverick Hunter X in here. That is the PSP remake of Mega Man X1, and it's phenomenal. That remake is just tremendous. Unfortunately, that's not in here, but X1, X2, X3, X4 still for great action platformers. X4 is actually one of the very first video games that I ever played as far as on a console goes. When I got my PS1, it was Spyro the Dragon and it was Mega Man X4, and what a good time Mega Man X4 was. X4 was on PS1, X1 through 3 were on the Super Nintendo. So I didn't play X1 through 3 when they initially came out, a little bit before my time, but nevertheless, great games, great action platformers. Certainly for this price, I think it's a good pickup. Next up, we have Watch Dogs 2, which is 85% off for $7.49. I often talk about how much I think Watch Dogs 2 is underrated, you know. I feel like Watch Dogs 2 for Watch Dogs did a lot of what Assassin's Creed 2 did for Assassin's Creed, where the first game left, you know, some people disappointed, and I think Watch Dogs 1 definitely had some of that, especially with the abomination of the PC version. But Watch Dogs 2, I felt was a much better game. I wasn't a big fan of the tone and the narrative shift, but from a gameplay standpoint, I think Watch Dogs 2 is pretty damn good, and I think for $7.49, if you never played it, I would give it a recommendation. Unfortunately, Watch Dogs 2 never revitalized Watch Dogs like Assassin's Creed 2 did for Assassin's Creed. And if you remember the hype and anticipation going into the release of Watch Dogs 1, it was astronomical, and I think a lot of people thought that it was going to be another Assassin's Creed for Ubisoft. Unfortunately, that never really came to fruition, but you still have a solid open world game here, and for $7.49, I think it's a pretty good pickup. Next up, we have Deep Rock Galactic, which is down to sub $10, $9.89 on this one. This deal is only available for another day or so, so jump on it as soon as possible. Co-op FPS, a lot of replayability, procedurally generated content, and definitely a fun time if you do have friends to play with and you take advantage of the co-op aspects. I didn't get as into it as some of my boys did, but, you know, if you're looking for a good co-op experience, this is definitely a decent buy. There are a plethora of other editions that have a ton more content, but that goes as high as $54, so you know, proceed cautiously as far as that's concerned. Next up, we have Dying Light Enhanced Edition, which is 70% off for $8.99. Guys, you already know how I feel about Dying Light 1. I think it's a tremendous game. Incredible PC version to this game. Techland did a tremendous job of updating this game, rotating in content, and just really giving people their money's worth. And now you're not spending $60 on it, you're spending $9, and as much as I did like Dying Light 2, and I liked a lot of aspects about Dying Light 2, I think most people would agree that Dying Light 1 was the superior game. From a gameplay standpoint, it was fantastic. Yeah, the world isn't as big as Dying Light 2, but it's still a sizable experience, and the parkour gameplay is excellent. And really, I think that's where Dying Light 2 shines. The parkour parkour gameplay in Dying Light 2 is excellent, but it's also really good in Dying Light 1, so definitely check it out. $9 is a great buy here. Next up, we have Grand Theft Auto 4, the Complete Edition, 70% off for $5.99. Now, some people hold me at gunpoint to this opinion, but I wasn't crazy about GTA 4. Did I think it was a good game? Yes, I did think it was a good game, but I remember when this came out back in 2008, and it got 10 out of 10s everywhere, and I didn't really agree with that, and in fact, I like GTA 5 better than GTA 4, which is, I feel like, a blasphemous take. Like, I remember I said that in a video a while back, and people in the comments section, my god, you guys take no prisoners for an opinion, but you know what? Yo, that's my opinion. It seems like my audience prefers GTA 4, and if you do, more power to you. And I still thought it was a good game. From a narrative standpoint, I can see why people like GTA 4 more. Of course, this is the Complete Edition with episodes from Liberty City, so you get an extension on the content for $6. I think this is a pretty good deal. I gotta go back and play GTA 4 at some point, but, you know, probably not gonna happen anytime soon with all the games coming out. Next up, we have Immortals Phoenix Rising, 85% off for $8.99. I wasn't as big of a fan of this game either as a lot of other people, but there were aspects that I really liked. So from an open world game standpoint, from Ubisoft especially, I felt like it tried at different things. Definitely a little bit of a tonality shift from a lot of Ubisoft titles as well. I wasn't crazy about some of the comedic aspects. Like, I thought that was a little bit, like, it was whatever, but the gameplay is pretty solid, and I think a lot of people will like it from that standpoint. The game was supposed to get a sequel, unfortunately. I believe that's been canned, so, like, it is what it is as far as that's concerned. But check that out, pretty good price there. Next up, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, 67% off for $9.89. I mean, Phoenix Wright is a classic, and this gets you the original titles. Now, keep in mind, these games were initially actually Game Boy Advance games. A lot of people think Phoenix Wright originated on the DS, and it did stateside, but I believe the games originally dropped on the Game Boy Advance over in Japan. So obviously they show their age, they do refine it a little bit, but you're getting into these games for the narrative aspects, and that's really what it is: detective story-based gameplay. And very much light on, you know, any action or anything. There is none of that, but a compelling story here, $9.89, quite a good buy there. Next up, we have Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, which is 84% off for $9.59. Very, very good JRPG. I didn't like it as much as Ni no Kuni 1, but still has a great art style, has a charming cast of characters, and definitely worthwhile to go through. I always recommend Ni no Kuni 1 and 2 if you want a JRPG to kind of get into the genre. This isn't a bad one. I know most people will say, like, Final Fantasy, especially, like, FF16, but Ni no Kuni, I think, isn't a bad one. It's just, you know, from a tone standpoint, it's not as, like, big budget dark or anything like that. It does have more of a cartoony aesthetic, but I kind of like it, at $9.59, good buy there. And lastly, we have Okami HD, 50% off for $9.99. One of my favorite games from the PlayStation 2 era. If you look up, like, the top 10 PS2 games, top 20, top 30, top 40, whatever, Okami is usually ranked among the, you know, top 3, 5, or 10. It's at that level. A lot of comparisons to Legend of Zelda. Fantastic art style, fantastic soundtrack. Gameplay style is pretty unique. I pray for the day that we get an Okami 2. I don't know if that's ever going to come to fruition, but you know what? Capcom's had their finger on the pulse of what, you know, gamers have wanted, and I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. If we get a Dragon's Dogma 2, I don't think an Okami 2 would be that crazy. And yes, I know Okami Den was a game, but I'm talking about a big budget, like console and PC-focused Okami title. That would be pretty cool to see, but that is going to do it for me. Again, all of these deals under the price of $10. Links to all of these in the description box down below. As always, that is going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. And remember, if you don't pick anything up now, there's always great deals. Like I mentioned, you know, the Thanksgiving sale coming up and the holiday sale, the Christmas sale, winter sale, that will be starting in December. But really, like, you look at the landscape these days, it's like every platform and e-tailer is running really solid stuff. So, you know, stuff is constantly in flux, and you should never feel too pressured in picking anything up, even if a deal is available for X amount of time, because guess what? It's going to be available sooner rather than later again. But that'll do it for me again. Your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.